Most woodworkers are familiar with the tools, but they may not know the exact difference between a planer and jointer. All good woodworking projects start with a 4x4 lumber, which has smooth faces and edges that are perfectly square and parallel to each other. Lumber can be milled in a variety of ways, but the most straightforward and effective method is to use a power planer and jointer. Hand milling is a great art in and of itself, and something that all woodworkers should learn to master at some point. It's common to hear people refer to the tools as a planer or jointer, but this is incorrect. They're two separate and entirely different tools. So, what exactly is the distinction between a planer and jointer? Let's review each one in greater detail. A planer, also known as a thickness planer or surface planer, is a woodworking machine used to create a smooth and even surface on the face and edges of a piece of lumber. It's an essential tool in woodworking for preparing rough lumber before using it in projects. The main function of a planer is to reduce the thickness of a board while ensuring that the resulting surface is parallel to the opposite side. It removes unevenness, imperfections, and irregularities from the wood, resulting in a uniform thickness and a smooth surface. This makes the board more suitable for joinery work, such as creating tabletops, cabinets, and other furniture components. A planer typically consists of a table and a cutting head assembly. The cutting head assembly contains multiple sharp blades that spin rapidly and shave off thin layers of wood from the board as it is fed through the machine. The depth of cut can be adjusted to achieve the desired thickness. Woodworkers use planers to achieve consistent thickness across multiple boards, ensuring that they fit together seamlessly in projects. It's important to note that planers are primarily used to work on the thickness of the wood and not to create precise angles or edges. For that purpose, other tools like jointers and table saws are commonly used in combination with planers to achieve various woodworking tasks. A jointer, also known as a thicknesser or edge planer, is a woodworking machine used to create a flat and straight edge on a piece of lumber. It's a fundamental tool in woodworking for achieving precise edges and ensuring that two pieces of wood can be joined together seamlessly. The primary function of a jointer is to flatten one face of a board and create a straight and square edge that is perpendicular to that face. This edge is essential for creating strong and accurate joints in woodworking projects, such as making panels, frames, and other components that require flush and stable connections. A typical jointer consists of a long, flat table and a rotating cutter head assembly. The cutter head assembly includes multiple sharp blades that cut a thin layer of wood off the edge of the board as it's fed through the machine. By adjusting the depth of cut and the angle of the fence, woodworkers can achieve precisely squared edges. Woodworkers commonly use jointers to prepare the edges of boards before gluing them together to form wider panels. This ensures that the joints are tight and free of gaps, resulting in a strong and visually appealing final product. Additionally, jointers are used to correct any warping or twisting in the lumber, making it easier to work with during subsequent steps of the woodworking process. Jointers are often used in conjunction with other tools like planers and table saws to achieve specific woodworking tasks. While planers focus on thickness and surface evenness, jointers specialize in creating flat and straight edges, ultimately contributing to accurate and professional-looking woodworking projects. A planer and a jointer are both woodworking tools used to prepare lumber for various projects, but they serve distinct purposes and have different functionalities. Here's a breakdown of the key differences between a planer and a jointer. Planer. Purpose. A planer is used to uniformly reduce the thickness of a piece of lumber while ensuring that both sides remain parallel and flat. Functionality. It consists of a rotating cutter head equipped with multiple blades that remove material from the top surface of the wood as it passes through the machine. Result. The planer produces a consistent thickness across the entire length of the board, making it useful for creating panels of even thickness and for removing imperfections from the wood surface. Usage. Planers are particularly useful for dimensioning lumber, reducing the thickness of rough-cut wood, and achieving uniform thickness for woodworking projects. Limitation. Planers do not correct irregularities in the edges of the wood or create perfectly square edges. Jointer. Purpose. A jointer is used to create flat and straight edges on a piece of lumber and to ensure that one face and one edge are perfectly square to each other. Functionality. It features a flat table and a rotating cutter head with sharp blades that remove a thin layer of material from the edge of the wood as it's fed through the machine. Result. The jointer produces a straight and square edge on the wood, making it ideal for creating precise joinery and accurately fitting boards together. Usage. Jointers are primarily used to prepare lumber for woodworking projects by creating square edges for gluing boards together and ensuring stability in the final assembly. Limitation: jointers do not alter the thickness of the wood uniformly, and they do not correct the opposite face of the wood. In summary, a planer is used to achieve uniform thickness and surface smoothness across the entire length of a board, while a jointer is used to create flat and square edges for precise joinery. Woodworkers often use these tools in tandem to achieve desired results, as the jointer prepares the edges of the lumber before it's sent through the planer to achieve uniform thickness. If you're ready to step up your game and invest in a planer or jointer, or both, check out our list that we think are the best options. You can view the list in the description or at https://www.skilledhub.com/planer versus jointer. Keep in mind that if you are planning to buy just one, we recommend getting a planer first. You can do a lot of projects with it on its own, and you can still add a jointer later.